Okay. The chain is loose. The chain's loose on this gate. This gate is beyond the scope of this inspection, but it's working. The chain could stand to be oiled as well. It does have a warning notice. Not much of it left, but this is the data plate. But that's not why we're here. This is the meter, the water meter to the house. It's in the back of the house, outside of the fence. Right here. Right in here. Right there. I don't know if you can see that. This little sprocket, the little red sprocket. It's a flow indicator. Some people call them cheater wheels, cheater paddles. But if that's moving, water's moving into the house. And as you can see, if you can see, but it's still now, because it was moving. Initially, this meter failed the water meter test, and I was able to isolate the problems. Is the most drastic one is the upstairs hall bathroom commode. Was running continuously, and then the second one was the downstairs guest bathroom commode. It was also leaking, so I isolated those valves, and so now the meter passed the meter test. This is the check valve for the lawn sprinkler system. These are your isolation valves right here. And that's the main water shutoff valve. That's the first thing that I tested when I was looking for the leak, because that's very common in lawn sprinkler systems, but not the case today. We got room underneath the valve. It's lined with gravel. It really looks okay. We got a little bit of rust on this one handle. I was kind of hesitant to use it, but it worked. And obviously, you're supposed to service these once a year. Nobody does that. Nobody's done that. That doesn't mean it's okay. It's because nobody else does it. Doesn't mean I have to start doing it, but that's the case. I'm going to move around here just a little bit. These butt seams on the siding, they're supposed to have flashing tape behind them, and they don't. Your in-use cover is missing, and this receptacle outlet does not have GFCI. No GFCI. Come on. No! I'm going to kind of multitask here for a moment. Now I'm going to get back to this on the garage. West interior wall. The property faces south. This is the lawn sprinkler controls. And these are instructions. We're going to operate it here in a little bit, find out more about it. But the zones are not labeled. The zones are not labeled. It does have a weather sensor. A little bit of hail damage on this door or something. We got high soil along here. But there's the weather sensor on the fence right there. All we know is that we've got it. Got a loose threshold gasket down there. You have to hold this button. You have to hold it. If you don't hold it, the door jumps back up. It's a metal overhead door. The optic sensors appear to be close enough to the floor. They're not supposed to be higher than 6 inches. That one down there looks like it's a little higher than 6 inches from the driveway. I'll measure it. We should have tension, spring tension notices on the bottom corners of the door. We should have a picture on the door like this warning sign right here. That's good, it's there. That would be a deficiency if it wasn't. As we see, the courtesy light's working, but we do not have that notice on this door. I know it's right there, but it's supposed to be on the door. We're supposed to have pull handles on the doors. We're not supposed to be able to manually lock the door. That's supposed to be decommissioned. You'll put a bolt in that or something to keep it from going in. That way it keeps you from doing accidental damage to the door. There's your emergency pull handle, and there's your spring. So, that's where we're at with the door. Paving stones are not dimensionally uniform, and beyond the scope of this inspection, by the way. But anyway, just know that, Grampy, he might trip on this thing if he comes sprinting out of the house. This is the closest exterior bib faucet to the meter. We're looking between 40 and 80 psi. Looks like we got about 75 psi right in there. That's good. That's good. That's within tolerances. Some people say you can't have enough pressure, but that's not true. That's not true at all. You can have too much, but we don't have too much today. We're right up at the top. We're at the top of our game. Moving on along, more of those paving stones that we're talking about. We'll visit this stuff. Might have already visited it, depending on the order. These retaining walls, you have them on both sides, a little railroad tie, landscaping timbers. They last about 14 years. Now the rule of thumb, rule of thumb is if it's more than twice its height from the house, 45-degree angle some people use, then in theory this should not have, neither one of these retaining walls should have any effect on the foundation performance. So they're beyond the scope of this inspection. But they're old. They're old. Somebody's going to need to work on them. We have a clean out, a sewer clean out here in the yard, this side. There's the Bonnie cart. She always makes a cameo. She always makes a cameo. Should have washed her. Sure should have. I wouldn't be bragging about that, but there I go. Shouldn't be bragging about it. Alright. Then here in the flower bed, here's another clean out. I'd like to see doubles, but we do have a clean out, and we may have doubles, like just all the wood mulch. We don't know. We don't know. We do know we have one. While we're at it, these lawn sprinklers, this drip irrigation, they're allowed. They're allowed to be exposed like that. But they're also supposed to be stapled every 12 inches to the ground. It's kind of silly, but that's what's supposed to happen. That's what's supposed to happen. Rain gutters below grade. This is the front exterior faucet. We'll try that. We got it. We got water.